All right, what's going on, guys? For today's video, we have a very fun 3D printed disc to test out. We have a disc with no flight plate, just the rim. We're going to see how she does. All right, let's go disc golf. All right, as you can probably see, it's snowing, it's cold, it's windy. This is probably a horrible idea, but I really wanted to test this out. Was super excited about this idea. We're going to let this thing rip. We got a little headwind right here. We got a normal nuke with us. This is modeled off of a Venom, but I'm very curious to see what it's going to do. If I had to guess, I think it's just not going to get the lift that it normally would with the flight plate being there. So I think it might fly pretty neutral to maybe slightly overstable still, but I just don't think it's going to go very far because it's probably not getting lift. But we're going to test it out. We're going to find out. First throw here with the disc with no flight plate, just rim. Come on. It actually doesn't feel bad. It feels pretty good to hold. It feels like I could almost like spin it more. What in the world? It makes a very interesting noise. I'm very curious if the camera caught that, but it's like a really loud whooshing noise as you throw it. It went, it stabled up right away, and it definitely got no glide. Let's test it out. We'll try some other fun shots with it, see what it can do. All right, we're at the other end zone here. Very, very interesting. Not what I would have expected at all. We're going to let the nuke rip again, now in the slight tailwind. Then I think we'll give it one more normal shot, maybe give it a little hike, give it a little more ante, see what it does, and then from there we'll mess around. We'll go forehands, maybe a couple more backhands. We'll go roller, tomahawk, upside down, grenade, anything we can think of. Give it all the test. See if there's anything that it's actually useful for, anything that it's good at. Go from there. It's windy. Whew. Man, it hurts just to throw. It's so cold. All right, no rim disc. I think we're going to go higher. A little bit of ante here. It's so interesting. I actually threw it flat, maybe a tiny ante, but it like kind of flies like a normal disc. It just makes sense. It just doesn't get any glide, so it just wants to fall really fast. But all right, let's try some forehands with it up next. All right, I just realized right when I picked it up, it feels very, very interesting on a forehand because I like this is kind of how I hold my forehands normally, but there's not enough space. I made like the tiniest little rim there, so you had something to put your finger up against, but there's no extra space for my second finger. So it's gonna be very interesting on a forehand, but we're gonna see. I'm gonna try and first chop it on a bunch of ante and see what happens. Here comes the strong headwind again. We're gonna see what it does though. The no glide, no flight plate disc, first forehand with it. Interesting. So it really still kind of flies like a Venom. It's got that really overstability, but it's like it just doesn't go anywhere. For anyone that doesn't know, one of my favorite series in discs that I've been working on my channel recently has been designing the shortest flying disc golf disc. I've made two versions out now. I've 3D printed and about to film the third one soon. But I'm very curious now if I just got rid of the flight plate entirely, if that would reduce the distance further than the super concave top that's on it right now. Something to think about, something I might have to test out. Forehand number 2 with it. We're going to try an insane amount of ante, maybe even see if it'll roll. I don't know. We're going to find out. Man, that thing is stable. I mean, it rolls well. I have to lay down, but I threw quite a bit of ante on that, and it still tried to fight out of it a little bit before it hit the ground. There we go. There's a good roller with it. It still doesn't get a ton of distance, but that wasn't bad. That wasn't bad. All right, here we go. Very curious to see what this thing's going to do on a tomahawk. Yeah, it's about what I would have thought because there's no flight plate there. It just doesn't have anything for that wind, the wind or the air to push off of to get it to pan, so it just kind of stayed. I usually release my tomahawks pretty vertical because I throw pretty flippy discs, so it does the work for me. But I'm gonna try and force this one over a little more horizontal over my head, see if we can get it to pan at all. Okay, so it still did. It still just gets no distance. That is awesome. All right, let's test her out upside down. Not much of a lip there to put our thumb on, so it feels very, very weird. I'm almost thinking I could just wrap my whole hand around the inside to get even more spin out of it. But overstable discs usually fly a little straighter upside down, so I'm very curious to see how this will do. I don't know how to hold it. It feels so weird. We'll try that first. No, we're trying on the rim. Okay, now I'm even more confused. It's more overstable upside down. All right, we're gonna throw our next upside down shot here back into the headwind. Then we're gonna go grenade, but we're gonna throw it from the top of the bleachers. Start with as much height as we possibly can. See what that will do. But let's start with our next upside down shot. I almost think that's better. Put the thumb on the rim and you could tuck your fingers around the inside of it. That is so interesting. It is so overstable upside down. All right, there's really not much space up here at all. I also gotta make sure I don't punch this railing. So I'm gonna have to be pretty close to the camera here. We're gonna try and rip a grenade, see what it does. Okay, it panned a little bit. I didn't expect it to pan much at all, but it did go up and go a little bit to the right. All right, the grenade didn't do anything too special. We're gonna try and backhand from up here, try and ante. We know it's not gonna glide much. Maybe we can get a little bit of extra distance starting up high here. Let's try not to slip. Oh, it just went so far left. The wind just took it. All right, guys, had a ton of fun testing this out. Very, very interesting. Again, not what I expected. So that's one of the fun parts about doing these weird 3D printed test discs. Very interesting, but overall we learned that if you get rid of a flight plate, you get negative glide, doesn't want to go anywhere. So pretty cool. I'm going to try and make a field goal here real quick. Are you kidding me? We completely missed it, and it's a huge area. All right, seriously though, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Peace out.